We're going to go to the unit circle here. The only difference from the last problem is they were in degrees. Now we're all in what? Radians. So guess what? I made a unit circle. This one just has what in it? The radians, right? So I'm going to go do this here. But instead of being positive pi over 4, it's what? So if the positive pi over 4, if I move this far to come up to it, that means I'm going to move this far to go what? Down to that one. And then the other thing is this here, just like on the previous page, cosine is x, sine is equal to y, tangent's y over x. So the x value there is just what? Square root of 2 over 2. So it's sine at 3 pi over 4, so 3 pi over 4 is there, and sine is just the letter y, so it's just going to be square root of 2 over 2. Tangent at 3 pi over 4 is the y divided by the x. Now notice, everything's going to cancel except it'll be a what? Not positive 1, but negative 1. And then we're going to go cosine at 2 pi over 3. Cosine's which letter?
X.
X. So right there at 2 pi over 3, it's negative 1/2. The sine at 7 pi over 6 is here. It's letter what? Y. So it's negative 1/2. And tangent's what? Not x over y. Y over x. So now notice this was tricky because can you divide by 0? So the answer becomes undefined. Undefined. So if the 0 is on top, the answer would be 0 then. Okay? I think it's going to happen on one of these others in a second. Okay, cosine at negative 5 pi over 4. Notice, if positive 5 pi over 4 is here, then negative 5 pi over 4 would be right up there. Cosine is x, so it's the negative square root of 2 over 2. And sine is 0 over, its y value, pi over 2 is there, so it's just 1. And then to kind of answer your question here, tangent's what? Y over x. This time I have the 0 on top, so the answer becomes 0. Because you can, technically you have nothing, you can divide it how many times you want, you still have what? Nothing. But if you have something, and you're dividing it by, it's like, it's not really sure, like, they haven't come up with a way, it's called undefined. So if you can find a way to do that, you'll change math up. Maybe you'll be really famous one day. Okay? But the key, once again, x is cosine, y is sine, y divided by x is tangent.